Let's start simple. What you're looking at here is price plotted against gross living area. Each dot represents a real cell. Nothing adjusted yet, nothing forced, just the market as it's actually occurred. Before we talk about adjustments or coefficients or formulas, there's always the first step, seeing the data as it exists. Now, as a trend line comes in, all we're doing is asking a basic question. As size increases, how does price tend to respond? This line isn't saying every property behaves this way. It's describing the central tendency of the market. That relationship is summarized here, the slope of the line and the R squared value. But these numbers don't exist in a vacuum. They only make sense in the context of the data underneath them. Now, watch what happens as we remove the most influential outliers one at a time. Each time a point leaves the model, the trend line responds, the slope adjusts, the equation updates, and the R squared changes with it. This is important because regression isn't static. It reacts to the data you allow into the model. When we talk about data screening or model refinement, this is what we mean. Not forcing a result, but understanding how individual observations influence the overall relationship. At this point, we have a refined model, not perfect, not absolute, but representative of the market behavior we're analyzing. Now let's zoom in on a single cell. The vertical distance between the cell and the trend line is the residual. It represents the portion of the price that is not explained by the gross living area. The trend line gives us the expected price based on size. The residual shows us how far reality deviates from that expectation. This is where R squared becomes meaningful. R squared tells us how much of the overall price variation is being explained by this variable and how much remains unexplained. That unexplained portion isn't an error, it's information. When we zoom back out, we're returning to the broader market context. As we move along the trend line, each residual shows the same idea repeating across the data set. Some cells sit in close to the line, others deviate more. Regression doesn't eliminate judgment, it organizes it. In other words, R squared isn't a score to chase. It's a way of understanding how much confidence we place in a variable and how much of the story still lies elsewhere. The remaining variation, that's where the market nuance lives. And that's why regression supports analysis and it never replaces it.